now at almost 50% are in either ready for proofreading or ready for fixes. So we're sort of on the halfway point, I guess, to have it 50% that are ready for looking at, and another 30% that we're actively doing. We've only got 20% where we haven't started yet. So this is really nice to see this progress kind of coming through. It's kind of cascading across the weeks nicely as well. So we are getting there. We are making progress. I imagine this will sort of tick up more as well now that Ilaria and Yinka from the E&O team are sort of actively working, because they had quite a lot. All of theirs are here, so these should really tick up now that those that team is sort of fully on board with us as well. Fab. How is everybody feeling or doing? Is there any major changes? I've put on our joint Slack channel, there were a few pages which are staying on the old website. I'm really sorry I hadn't made that fully clear beforehand. It's a handful, so if you need to link to them, just link to the current URL on our old website. That includes things like to log in, the downloads, FAQs is a big one. So if you want to link to any of those, link off to the old site. The full list is marked on the top of the Slack channel, so you can look at it. Or if you have any questions, of course, just shout. I'm happy to help. In time, we would hope that all of those would move over as well, but for various different technical reasons, it would be a lot of work to move them over now. So we're just saying, let us get this part done, and then we can always do a phase 2 sort of later on, once we're set up. I think that was the only change really from my side. For me personally, I've been really naughty today. I've not even opened the spreadsheets. Yes, I haven't done anything in WordPress except click build a couple of times. I've just been really caught up doing other bits and bobs that I needed to do, but I did do quite a bit yesterday, made a dent in some, so I feel like I'm getting there. Does anyone else have anything they want to share, or how are people doing? Are we feeling comfortable with the deadline, because that is looming? By the end of next week, we need a page for everything. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be the final thing. Obviously we can keep doing changes even after the site is up and public, but we need a page for everything. Does that feel achievable, or if it's not, shout and we can help?
From my side, I think so. The pages that were assigned to me for this week, they don't have too much work to do. They are the license agreements and the privacy policies kind of stuff. Although I have the CSD million, that is a page that will take more of my time. But yeah, I can balance because the other pages will not require so much time. So I'm quite confident, and also with the links that will stay in our old website, I might be able to do updates on pages that are not finished yet, so I can do a little bit more work from the first week. So yeah, hopefully we'll be okay.
Nice. Yeah, I think I hope that's the case for a lot of people. Actually, the pages from later weeks are just simpler. Yeah. They're shorter. They don't necessarily need like new text writing. So hopefully there's less of them, and they're sort of a bit smaller.
And we can spend more time on other pages.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, yeah, you're of course very welcome to go back to ones that you had called finished before. If you want to go back, well, actually now I'm a bit more comfortable, or now I've got time, I can go back and make edits. It's fine. Michael, how's your side going? Does the deadline feel achievable, or all right your side?
Yeah, I've just got three that I haven't started yet.
Nice.
So sorry, the reason I was late for this meeting, I was deep in a page, and then I joined the 4:15 meeting by mistake, because that flashed up as a reminder. I was thinking, where is everyone?
No, you're all right.
So I'm confident of getting those three done this week, and then using week 4 to go back to the proofers, all the proofers corrections and things they've spotted. I think with me, it'll be missing links. Will be the most of my fixes. Because week 1, a lot of the pages I needed to link to weren't built yet, so I kind of just put a / in, knowing that I would go back to each and every page to put links in. I just felt that was more efficient than kind of waiting for pages to build and stuff. But I am still having problems linking. I think what we talked about on Tuesday, Alex, where only posts are coming up, not pages for me.
Let me check.
In particular, there was a design one for the science areas that I'm using, and there's a WYSIWYG row where only posts are coming up, not pages. So I've made Trello tickets anyway.
We've got the tickets. If it's not been dealt yet, it might be that Will's just not had a chance to look at it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem. I can imagine he's got a lot to do. That's fine.
Yeah, there's a fair few tickets flying around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the sort of thing, being able to get the correct links in where we need them, I would put as probably our highest priority, because to get a page finished and in a state where this is suitable for public consumption, it needs to have the right links in there. I think other things like, we wish this was a bit bigger or smaller, or we wish this would work. And this might be something we need to talk about, is prioritising what's left on Trello, so that you guys at Crucible can support us right as well, and when we all agree which things are the bigger priorities or not. But certainly anywhere where you can add a link, we would like to add either posts, pages, custom post types, external links, for example, to our old website or to a partner's website or something. I feel like they should always be an option, because we can't tell you every eventuality now. So if it's possible, that would be great.
Yeah, well, I've just bumped that up the list.
Beautiful, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's sorted.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Sarah, how's it going your side? I think, had you finished and now you're helping the E&O team?
Yeah, there's one of mine that's nearly there, but it just needs something again from a ticket. But then I've done all of mine, and then I've started 5 of the E&O ones today. I think there's 12 they've given me in total. So,
oh gosh, are you okay with that? Is that a lot to suddenly land on your lap, or?
No, I think the 5 I did today are pretty much there. So, hopefully it'll be all right. It's just getting the fixes done as well next week. But no, I wouldn't want any more than they've given me, but it's fine.
Okay, well, of course, next week, whatever, shout if it becomes a problem, because I'd say as well, on fixes, the priority is just having something for every page. I don't care if the page is not perfect. I don't really care too much if there's 1 or 2 broken links. We can do that sort of stuff in December, in January, and after we go live. But we need something for every page at the moment, by the 18th, next Friday. So if there's a choice between doing fixes or pitching in to build a couple of pages that are not started yet, we'll build the ones that are not started. We need a baseline. This is like a first draft, right? So obviously we want them to be as good as we can and work as well as we can, but if we have to make that choice, having something on every page is the priority. Thanks so much, Sarah, for stepping in and helping E&O. I think they'll be extremely grateful. Cool. Okay. I don't think I had anything else. Is there anything else that's been unclear or that's... It sounds like people are not too concerned. Hey, Inka. We were just talking about the deadline of Friday and whether it feels achievable. I think everyone has mostly said, yeah, it feels achievable. We've all got our heads down, but we feel quietly confident. How are you feeling on that side?
I have a couple of pages that I need to ask about, and that would shape sort of the answer to that question.
That's fine.
Decor and elements. I know that the selected modules are on the spreadsheet, but I think I might have to have a conversation on just how much work is going to be required for those pages, because they're both mine to work on.
Okay. Cool. And this is one of those things, apologies if I've accidentally given you all the crap hard pages. I just randomly put your name on half and Ilaria's name on half. If you want to switch and trade, go ahead. And we just mentioned you guys have outsourced some of your pages to Sarah as well, so hopefully that's helping you all get towards it as well.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I think there are a few questions for the clinic in that case. And yeah, actually, Ilaria, Yinka, Ilaria pre-warned us earlier of a couple you had.
Yes.
Dating a handout or adding a new one. What's the impact? I didn't really understand the question, but I'm hoping you do.
Yes. So we have some workshop materials that are to be added to the documentation and resources, and wondering if we should go ahead and add them now or wait until once the website is actually done before trying to upload them to the documentation and resources portal.
Ooh. Handouts are not being done by transfer, so that's not a consideration. And if they're being linked to, I suppose, more than anything else.
Yeah, they are being linked to, but if they're not showing up in the current documentation while building the website, I'm guessing it hasn't been captured yet. Because there were some new ones I uploaded a couple of weeks ago, and when I was trying to link them from the workshop materials pages, it wasn't showing up.
Sorry, can you show me what you mean?
Let me see if I can find an option.
So these are generally PDF file.
Yeah, they're PDFs.
So a PDF file won't show up in the link picker. That is a case of grabbing the URL and putting it in.
So it's just safe to put the current URLs directly into the pages I'm currently building, because...
Yeah, so you might find that it's on a different... So if we look at the different parts of the URL, we might find that it has few subfolders in it. So let's say for argument's sake, it sat before on... let me think, sorry. Sorry, Yinka, if you could just take me through what it is that you want to do.
Yeah, let me share my screen here. Okay. So I'm working on this page. This is what it currently looks like. So the searching and analyzing and confirmation search, they were materials that I uploaded, I would say, about a month ago. This is the current URL for it.
Yeah.
But if I go to add it, CSD core. So if I go to search for it to link, it wasn't showing up as an option. when I was searching for it. So I just had to put the direct.
You've uploaded that PDF to the current media library, the new media library?
I have not. I just put a direct link when it was in.
So that's the URL of it on our old website.
Yes.
Which won't exist. I think, what for instances like that where it's a PDF, that PDF needs to be uploaded to the new media library, and the link taken from that. So if I just share my screen briefly. There we go. So we would go here. Got something in there. And then if we just find a document, as you say, that says this PDF, you'd put this file URL in there.
Okay.
And then what we will do is we'll do a string replace for anywhere we see this and replace it with the real one when we go live.
Okay. But some of the other materials, so the older ones are shown up and just linking to them is fine, or because I don't have to upload all the PDFs.
Yes, you'll need to put all the PDFs into WordPress.
Yeah, these are the only PDFs we've got at the moment.
Because that path on our old website just won't exist. It won't be available anymore.
Yeah, the document won't exist. It's not just a path. It's that the old website is a database which includes content. There are PDFs uploaded to that database, and they won't, unless we bring them across, be brought across. That folder which contains all the PDFs won't exist anymore. Well, it'll exist, but it won't be accessible.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that because when I was searching for the different documents, it was showing up as documentation when I go to add the link. But I guess I should upload all of them. Yeah, so these materials won't exist.
This stuff does, because this is being brought across. So documentation is being brought across in the transfer.
Yeah, so most of the PDFs are uploaded to the documentation and resources on the current website.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought we were talking about something else then.
In that case, they will be brought over. Because
so
all of the files in there are being done by mass transit. But if there's rogue little PDFs that just live on one page, they are not being over.
Yeah,
so PDFs are in the documentation and resources. Some of them just weren't showing up when I went to search for it. So I wasn't sure.
This is a test data set.
Yeah, it's a test data set at the minute, yeah.
Great. So, yeah, I would just change the link once it's all been moved over.
Well, that then begs the question, Alex, when is the real data set going to be done? And because then that'll be a heck of a job to go through and be like, oh, shoot, change all these links right now.
We think about that one second.
Is that happening in January?
Yeah.
Damn.
How many pages are there like this one you're working on, Yinka? That's a question for everybody.
How many pages with linking to PDFs?
Linking specifically to documentation.
So 4 pages, but I would say in total about 30 something documents. But most of them, I was able to find the links. It was just the ones that were uploaded recently, and I'm guessing they haven't been moved over. That was the problem. So going back to change maybe 5 or 6 links is not the worst thing.
Well, so what I'm thinking is that we can probably nip through and just put them all in. I think the reason you might not be seeing stuff is because the export wasn't total. We basically did an export test that it was working. So we might be missing stuff. And when we do it again, effectively this post will be written over. Obviously, it's not going to give a different URL here. So we're fine using these. I suppose the thing to do in these rogue instances is to manually create a piece of documentation here. So if it's rarer that you're not finding the link, then what we can do is create the piece of documentation if it doesn't exist in this list, including the legacy URL, and then when we do the full export, that'll get written over, but a new post will be created which has the same legacy URL, so you're still linking to the same thing. That would be the best thing to do. So yeah, if you're finding a piece of documentation that lives in documentation and resources and doesn't exist, add it here as a new piece of documentation. Put the link to the old PDF, and then it will carry across. And anywhere that doesn't happen will get picked up when we do our testing for broken links. In January.
All right, that sounds fine. So far, it's just 2 documents that I couldn't find, and I can add those.
They weren't by any chance documents that have been uploaded more recently, are they?
They were uploaded more recently, yes. I would say.
So that's why they're missing, is because they've been uploaded since Paul did the export. So if we can just add those in manually for now, and then you'll get the link. And then it will, the link that we put in, as long as we put the same link in here, the right link in there, then it will get picked up by the main export that we do in January. So actually, no, there's not going to be a case of going through and relinking anything in January there.
That works. Thank you.
Sorry, can I jump in? What's the benefit or difference then of putting a PDF in documentation versus putting it in the media library? Should we only be doing one or the other?
The reason that we do it here is because we have to create a folder for all of the stuff that we import from documentation and resources to live in. We have to basically say this is where all that stuff's going to live. And then PDFs are served differently. So these PDFs that we do through documentation and resources will be served by the Azure blob storage rather than the WordPress media library, because that's where the transfer is going into.
So if you're uploading a PDF, should you just do it in documentation? Because you have like 4 or 5 in the media library.
Only if it's come from the documentation and resources subfolder, because otherwise, if you do it in documentation, then when we do the replace, it will write over them. And so if you're adding stuff in documentation that isn't from that subfolder, then it will get lost when we do the XML import.
So only if it's in documentation and resources area on the old website, put it in documentation area on WordPress.
Yeah, because those databases will match.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I guess, no worries. I will discuss with Ilaria if we want to put the CSDU materials in documentation and resources or just add them to the media library here, whichever one is actually doing.
Yeah, I mean, if what I should say is that basically everything here in documentation, wherever it's gone, you might as well effectively think of it as being deleted and then re-uploaded based on what the current documentation and resources library looks like. So if you add anything here that doesn't exist on the current CCDC documentation and resources folder, then it won't exist again after we've done the new import.
Yeah.
So if you want to upload CSDU stuff, then it would need to be added to the current CCDC library for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it will get picked up when we do the import.
My other question, I'm going to share my screen again, has to do with anchor links and the form module. So for this page, I'm trying to have sort of an anchor link to a form to sign up for a training and learning newsletter. The form is going to be below. So I guess my first question I should ask is it okay to use the contact form module? And if they enter their name and email, where does this actually go to?
For that, I would use we already have a HubSpot form to sign up for the E&O newsletter, and that has logic behind it that says, if the user fills this form, do this action, tick them into this box, put them on this list, add them in, opt them into this option. So I would embed that same HubSpot form. I can give you the code. It's just a little bit of HTML snippet that you'll paste in.
So that would actually work better for a module like content and image or something, where I can just embed it instead of using the contact form.
Yeah, so you could put, if you had content left and right in one of the sides, you could just put the form, and the other side is some blurb about it.
Okay. I think that actually just takes care of my contract form question, but then how to make an anchor link here that would go to the form.
That would be done. Bear with me 1 second. So in your, have you got that page open in the WordPress CMS?
Possibly. This is workshop materials. Yeah, this one. I think, yeah. So I currently have two. I'm going to remove this module and just go with the anchor
straight into
links.
the anchor links. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then scroll down for me. So you've got Anchor ID newsletter, Anchor text sign up for our newsletter. And then what you'll do is in the module that you want to anchor to, oh yeah. So on, you see the layout tab on the left?
Yeah.
Scroll a little bit up. Oh yeah. So module ID, that has to match what you've put in the anchor link module at the top. So I think it just said newsletter. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that should anchor down now.
That's easy. Thank you. Yep. I think those are really my questions.
You. I just spotted there actually while you were sharing your screen, your name is still in as Yinka Yinka, and I think everybody's names were in as first name when we got our accounts. It's fine. Should we change those? Is that ever going to be publicly visible? Unless if you author a blog, it might be.
Yeah, I'm just checking that now.
And if so, where does that change?
Give me 1 second.
The other question we had bookmarked was Michael about the linking problems. Did we cover that earlier, Michael, or was there something separate?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that people had we needed to ask today?
Michael's name is down as Michael Francis.
Yeah, I changed that myself.
Did you change that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'll show you where to change it.
It's the profile top right, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 I mean, CCDC staging obviously at the moment. So edit profile. You can just, if you pop in first name, last name, and then display name publicly as, change that. And then you'll see Michael's got his there.
Oh, nice. Okay. Cool. Oh, what's happened with that?
Yeah, I'm just seeing that now.
I think that's the apostrophe.
I think it is. I'll tickle that now.
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shoot.
I believe for the decor pages, we're going to add filters to it, right? Or like add labels. Is that possible to add to the workshop pages also, so people could filter for like Mercury workshops or Conquest workshops on the self-guided workshop page? I don't know if it has to be built with the module.
Okay. So you have a link for a workshop that you've got going at the moment?
A workshop page.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you the one that has the most workshop materials on it.
So no, I don't think that you can associate them in that way. I think workshops at the minute are just set up as pages, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they don't have the same kind of tagging to be able to pull through all pages that are, for example, workshops. So it won't be able to associate them, I don't think.
Okay. Yeah, that was more of a would like to have, but
yeah,
it's okay if it's not currently feasible.
Yeah, sorry, that's not set up within the system at the minute.
Speaking of decor, are those files already ported over? And if so, I've been told by Ilari and Yinka it's very unlikely that we're going to update or add any new files there. So I don't think we need to do a fresh upload in January like the other sections. If the files are already there, could we go in and start applying those tags so that the filters start working?
Oh, good question.
I can't remember if we already did an import of all those or not.
I'm just asking Will on that. I'll make a Trello ticket for that. Yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah, no problem. Cool.
Yeah, and then so while I'm waiting on decor for the elements and crystals, is it basically similar to decor, or is the format different? Because on the current website, it's linking to individual pages, and we're not doing that, right?
We are doing that, but they will be mass transferred. Alex, this was the periodic table, which
periodic
interactive
table.
Visual, and you click on each element and then it goes to the child page.
So that's all mass transfer, yeah.
Okay.
But setting up the parent, do we need to still set up the parent page?
Yes, although I think that's the one that we've said we're not quite ready to go on and won't be till Monday.
Okay.
I think Will's still playing with that one.
Will the links to each individual element need to be put in manually?
I don't believe so, no. No, that should be done.
Okay. I'll sleep a little better. So I haven't created the elements page yet. Should I go ahead and create that so it exists, the main landing page, I guess?
No, I would leave that for now. We'll set that up when it's done, so that should be set up for you for Monday.
Okay, great.
So that periodic table page will exist on Monday or soon after, and then we can just go in and make like little tweaks. Like if it's placeholder text, we could just swap that for real text.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I'll check in with Will, but when it's ready, we'll share it in the form that we've got it.
Oh. Okay. Great.
I think the reason being, I imagine he'll set that up as a template rather than a module, because that module is not going to be used anywhere else, right? The periodic table module.
I think it's just something we pinched from the internet actually as well originally, that visual, I don't know if it's Java or what, but where you hover over each element and they change color and each one is an individual hyperlink. I think we pinched that, so it might just be a thing that you can paste in. Okay, are there any other pages that are weird or wonderful or different? Because I guess those are the ones like we're all feeling comfortable enough, and it's just putting the hours in on the quote unquote normal pages. But yeah, decor and periodic table are kind of slightly unusual ones. Are there any other unusual ones, either within E&O or elsewhere? I can't think of any right now.
No, I can't think of any.
In that case, I was wondering if we could look at how to build the menus. I think I had a ticket about that a while back. I started changing some stuff on the footer yesterday, but the drop-down menu, the mega menus at the top, kind of how are they built and how can we start setting those up so that they're ready?
Yeah, I'll pick you through that. Okay, let me take you through it. So, I'm just checking I've got a good example. I'll do the Discover drop over. So, menus are figured under, menus under appearance there. What we've got to do is make sure that we're looking at the right one. So it's not the most intuitive in WordPress, but what we do is we hit the one we want to do and then hit select. So the header menu primary is this menu here. So the way this works is in terms of kind of nesting. It's a fairly intuitive layout. So anything that is at this hard edge margin there is stuff that appears appears in this top level menu here, the 5 white boxes there. And then when we nest stuff underneath it, you can see in this second tab we've got 3 things. We've got free software and services license agreement and guide to, I don't know if you say SIFs or, yeah. And so then within guide guide to CIFS, we can see there's lots of things nested. We've just put an insane amount in there because we needed to test the internal scroll of that, basically. But then we just nest stuff in there. And so anything that is nested in within guide to CIFS appears in there. And though it does take a bit of doing, that's kind of all there is to it, theoretically.
So where do we, if you wanted to add or remove something from that, could you just
of course. So let's
sorry, that's made it really obvious.
No, not at all. So let's add something to here, this middle column here. Let's just check the privacy policy in there for argument's sake. So you here on the left, add to menu. You can use this search to find what you're looking for. So note that this is all segmented out. So if you're adding a post rather than a page, you need to do it in here. If you're adding any of these other custom post types as well, then it needs to be found in there. And that's going to put it down at the bottom of the menu. And then we'll just pop it. So let's put it here. Privacy policy there. I'll just hit save menu. So the next time you do a build, you'll see that that's where. So I'll hit save menu. My Teams preview is in my. I hit save menu down there. And then next time we see a build underneath free software and services, that's where it will live. To remove items from the menu, we go into it, we drop that down. Oh, and sorry, within that as well, you can change the navigation label. If you don't want it to say the name of the page, you can put something else in there as well. You hit remove to get rid of one. You'll see, obviously, that discover as a title. That's just done here.
It looked like the lower level links had the options add a description and things. Does that?
Yeah, they'll all carry that.
Obviously, it's not showing, but should we fill that in? Should we not fill that in?
No, there's no need. The lower links can be set up just like this. So, you're adding a page each time. So the reason these top links have a URL in is because these are headings that won't necessarily be pages. So you kind of have to decide what you want it to say.
Okay. Presumably the order that things appear here is the order they appear visually on Huffington.
Exactly right, yeah. So left
drag
and right.
and drop to move stuff up and that, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Oops, so under Discover, you've got Guide to CIFS here at the top here, and then underneath that you've got Fairgrant, CSD Communications. So that's the order that it will come through there, yeah.
Okay, perfect, thank you. I think that was...
And then, just so the top bit is the three things across the top there.
And if in time, I don't think this is going to happen for launch, but what will happen 6 months later, we'll go, could we add another thing in there? Will these sort of resize to fit if we then decided, we want 4 things in the top?
Yeah. So to do that, you add them in as a custom link. So that's the reason that these are showing. This is custom link there. That's why it's giving you a URL and a navigation label. What you'd need to do is add in a custom link. So I won't do it on deposit structures. So these are set up as custom links here in order to have them nestable. So you'd set up a custom link and you just decide what you want it to go to and what the link text you want it to be, and then you just put it at that left-hand level and it'll add it in.
Okay, that's great, thank you. I had another question about the footer. I was playing with the footer links the other day. I've updated some to be some actual, I think everything was just menu item the other day, and I've updated some actual things in. If we don't need all of the slots, because at the moment there's quite a lot in the footer. I think there's like 4 columns of 4 or something. If we don't need all of those, will it resize to... So if we decided actually we only want like 6 things there or something.
What's the rule then? Each thing.
I mean, I have filled it up for now, but
Yeah, I'm just going to check.
it just looks like a lot now.
Designs.
It's quite a lot bigger than on the lines, aren't they?
Yeah. Are we looking in the wrong place? I need to check in on that.
Where's this screen size thing?
Yeah, taking clears.
So my laptop is making some really concerning noises, like it's about to blow up. So if I suddenly
Display on some page widely. Styled differently, aren't they? Why is that? Put you on that.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone else have any other questions or things we need to raise, or we can call it a day before we run?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Cool. Yeah, I'm fine as well. Cool. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for team as well. Fab. So yeah, I think one thing that might be useful for us to do is think about Trello, because by next week we need to have everything done. So does the amount on Trello now look manageable for you, Crucible, or should we go in and take a hard look at prioritizing stuff, because it's not...
Are you asking Crucible if we can get everything on the Trello?
So
we can get everything on this Trello.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about that. We can probably get through that tomorrow, to be honest.
Okay. Challenging something.
Yes.
I'll do that.
Will's not on the call, so I can.
We'll throw some more in.
Yeah. Big talk. Cool. Okay. Thank you so much. In that case, have a good rest of your days, everybody. And happy Fridays tomorrow. See you later.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.